Welcome, mortals, to Vintage Videos Halloween themed on What's New. Now you may wonder why I'm wearing a Blue Jay shirt when we're going to be talking about horror movies. Well, you got to admit their performance yesterday against Cleveland was pretty scary. Anyway, let's get started. For Halloween, you cannot do better than the following. Kolchak, the wonderful Darren McGavin 20-part series that originated from The Night Stalker and The Night Strangler. Two of the best horror made-for-TV movies ever done. Next we have Abbott and Costello Meet the Monsters. They meet Frankenstein, and of course in that movie they meet Dracula and the Wolfman as well. The Invisible Man, Jekyll and Hyde, and The Mummy. Universal has just put out a collection of the premiere movies of their different monster collections. You get the original Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, The Bride of Frankenstein, and The Wolfman. Next we have the newly released at a decent price complete collection of The Twilight Zone, the original Twilight Zone. And if you like The Twilight Zone, you're going to love Rod Serling's The Night Gallery. 3 seasons. Perhaps the only series that one could almost say was equal to The Twilight Zone was Boris Karloff's hosting the hour-long series called Thriller. These were absolutely fantastic. Stephen King and a lot of the writers of today say they were introduced to horror through the Thriller series. Now, the Munsters. Oh, Lily, I'm home. And the Addams Family. 2 series that came out at the same time. It's a great division. People who love the Munsters don't particularly like the Addams Family, and people who love the Addams Family can't see why anybody in their right minds would love the Munsters. Personally, I like the Munsters. Now, a small selection of the more than 200 horror movies that we have in our Halloween section. I picked out a few of the best. The original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Probably, and this just isn't me saying this is the critics, probably the scariest movie to ever come out of the 50s. Directed by Don Siegel, starring Kevin McCarthy. One of my favorites. I love this thing. It's an early Troy Donahue movie, if you can believe it. Monster on the Campus. Can't think of a movie that we were asked for more than this. It finally came out, and we've got it. 2 on a Guillotine with Connie Stevens. What I would give to have this poster. The Thing That Couldn't Die. Perhaps the best film that Christopher Lee ever did. The uncut version of The Wicker Man. James Mason's Never More Sinister, Salem's Lot. The Sentinel. Who is guarding the door that leads to hell? Taken from the wonderful EC comic book stories, Tales from the Crypt and the Vault of Horror. Made in England, starring Peter Cushing and lots of other top-notch British actors. And finally, perhaps, maybe the best haunted house film ever done. The Uninvited, finally put out by Criterion. There we go, just a sampler of what we have for Halloween. I'll leave you now with a little bit of a teaser. Our next What's New film will certainly highlight all of the goodies that one might consider for Christmas, but we're going to be making an announcement about Vintage Video, a good one. And for my friend Peter the Postman, I hope you're feeling better. You're missed. See you next month. Boo!